I spent a lot of time decorating my front door this year. I tried some new things and I learned some things about stringing up lights I can't wait to share with you. And also I got some new greens from an unexpected source. It really pays to just ask people sometimes. I'll share that story with you as well. And then I got this inspiration, I think maybe from Instagram. I don't like having things on the railing, so I decided to decorate the stairs instead. And my favorite arrangement for the planters really came to life this year with some magnolia leaves. I can't wait to share the porch and the stair process with you on Old War Farmhouse. We have these two enormous concrete planters on our porch, and last year I got this inspiration from a little picture, I think in Veranda magazine, and I managed to sort of recreate it with foraged things I had around my property. And this year I did it again, except I had even better greens because I got to get some magnolia leaves, and they really just made it great. So what I did was I started with these I think they're burning bush, and they lost all their leaves, but they still have these red berries. So I stuck them in the middle, and then I stuck magnolia and cedar in to fluff it out around like in the middle. And then I tucked some moss that I just foraged out of my yard kind of all around the edges to fill in anything else. And I did this on both sides. It was so rainy the day I started. I had to stop and go on to the next day and wait for it to stop raining. But luckily we had one really beautiful day this week, and I got these planters accomplished. Norwegian spruce that I got to use this year is amazing. It has these flexible like roping things, and you can just drape it on everything. So that gave me the idea it just grows in these bunches, and it gave me the idea to totally frame out the door with it, which I've always wanted to do, and I've not done it so far. So this was like a dream come true, and I was afraid that it would be really hard to work with, but after a few mishaps, I really got the hang of it, just with a little floral wire and some hooks that were on the door already. I think if you didn't have hooks, you could just like put a couple screws up for a frame, but I happen to have some hooks. So I just took these naturally occurring bunches of this beautiful spruce, and I wrapped it real good with floral wire and just attached one bunch to the other all the way down. And at the very top, there's a hook that the top thing is attached to, but it's just kind of hanging there, and it stayed really well. We had a storm the night after I did this, and when I came out, the left side had fallen down, but that's because I hadn't tied the wire tight enough. So I just wrapped it up really tight again, and since then it's been staying just great. This was so much easier than I thought it was going to be, which is always really exciting with projects because usually they're harder than you think they're going to be. At least they are for me. And this one was easy and didn't take that much time, and that's a lot of fun. I actually think that's why I love Christmas decorating so much, is because it's very temporary. And so if something's kind of just like not gonna, fragile or gonna fall, it doesn't matter that much because it's just for a few weeks. And so there's less pressure to get things just perfect, and you can really just sort of play and have fun. So just if you're not really into decorating, or if it's been something that intimidates you, I've realized that over the years I've done this, like it just doesn't matter. If your greens fall down, no big deal, or if like a ornament smashes, it's okay. Like it's just really temporary, and it really is just to add to the joy of the season and not to add any stress at all, just to have fun. Magnolia for the wreaths. For one thing, it was a little quicker. And I'm just running a little short on time this year. But two, it's just, I love Magnolia wreaths. And so I did these the quickest way I could. I stuck the leaves into these grapevine frames that I had gotten at Hobby Lobby. And then I just hot glued the leaves on for a little extra security. I didn't want to wrap them real tight with floral wire because that cuts and breaks the leaves. So hopefully next year I would love to do some more elaborate Magnolia wreaths. But I feel like this was a good start. And maybe I'll look back next year at these and laugh, but you have to start somewhere, and I think they look pretty. Sleds and ice skates are so festive, and this is my sled from when I was a kid and my skates from when I was a kid, and I decided to put them up just for fun. I love how they look this time of year. It's just like winter and cozy. The most exciting thing by far was I got these little battery powered lights at Dollar General to try to light up the greens, which I was so excited about. And it actually worked out great. And then I went to the other Dollar General on the other side of town and I found solar powered lights, which were even better. So I ended up swapping them out for the solar ones. But here you'll see me putting up the battery powered ones. And now I have the solar ones up and they look pretty much the same. And they both worked really well. Pictures somewhere in a magazine this year of a staircase that was decorated like this and instead of on the banister. And I have found that I don't like having stuff on the banister because then I can't balance on it when I'm coming downstairs. I can't skim my fingers with it. So I decided to do this. I took the leftover boxwood and spruce and just put it in on every riser, and then I went around the backside and I taped it with masking tape so that would stay. I love to put Christmas cards on the staircase that people send us so I can see everyone's beautiful cards throughout the season. So then I took some hot glue and I hot glued each card, and we're still getting them. So every time we get a card in the mail, I take some hot glue and I'm just hot gluing them to some of the greens on here. I capped things off here by putting another magnolia wreath on the what do you call this thing? The post. There's a name for it. What is it? Anyway, I put it on there with another tartan ribbon. I'm just really loving the mix of tartan ribbon and magnolia. I think it's a really happy combination, kind of preppy. It makes me think of something you might see in like a Ralph Lauren store or something like that. I hadn't thought it would be possible, but once this was all done, I just could not stop thinking about how much better it would look if there were lights up there. So I decided to see if I could figure it out. And actually, it wasn't as hard as I thought. After a few false starts, I figured out where we could plug them in and how we could tape down the cord so no one would trip on it. And we did manage to get lights going down the whole length of the stairs. And that's the first time I have managed to do that since we moved in the house. So I'm really excited about that. Here's how it looks all finished up. There's one spot where the lights are dead. Oh well, maybe for next year we'll get some better lights. But I hope you enjoyed this Decorate With Me front porch and stairs edition, and I look forward to sharing the rest of my decorating with you in my next video. I hope you got some inspiration, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.